Jekyll and Hyde-Reborn. Chapter 1. Erst screams shattered Henry Jekyll's childhood, long before he understood what fear truly was. At 12 years old, Henry crouched beneath a heavy oak dining table, his small hands clamped over his ears as another argument erupted upstairs. His parents had argued before, but never like this. There was no anger in his father's voice tonight. There was only terror. Can feel it happening again. Henry's mother refused. "I'm not abandoning you, William." "You don't understand," his father shouted, and then his voice collapsed into sobs. "Please, before I lose myself." Henry slowly crawled from beneath the table and stepped onto the staircase. He had never heard his father cry before. William Jekyll was a respected neurologist, a gentleman who spent weekends teaching Henry chess and building model airplanes in the garage. He was the kind of father who apologized after raising his voice and kissed his wife every morning before work. None of this made sense. As Henry reached the landing, silence swallowed the house. Then came the crash. A lamp exploded against the wall. His mother's scream tore through the silence. Henry sprinted toward the bedroom. The door stood open. His mother lay motionless on the wooden floor. His father's hands trembled violently, stained with blood. He stared at them as though they belonged to someone else. His breathing became ragged, and the horror on his face was greater than the horror in Henry's own eyes. When he finally looked at his son, tears rolled freely down his cheeks. "Henry," he whispered. "That wasn't me." 26 years later, Dr. Henry Jekyll stood before a packed auditorium, his voice calm and unwavering despite the hundreds of eyes fixed upon him. "The human brain," he said, pacing slowly across the stage, "contains nearly 86 billion neurons. We understand how many of them communicate, but we still cannot answer humanity's oldest question." The giant screen behind him displayed a rotating image of the human brain. What truly makes a person themselves? The audience listened in complete silence. If damage to a small region of the brain can erase compassion, create aggression, or completely alter personality, then perhaps evil is not as simple as we've always believed. Several professors exchanged uneasy glances. Henry noticed. He continued anyway. If violence begins in the brain, then perhaps one day it can end there as well. The room erupted into applause. Everyone saw a brilliant scientist. No one saw the frightened 12-year-old boy who still heard his father's final words every night. "That wasn't me." After the lecture, reporters surrounded him with questions about grants, awards, and future research. Henry answered politely before slipping away through a side corridor toward the neuroscience laboratory where he felt most at home. Running away again? Henry turned to find Dr. Emily Carter leaning against the laboratory entrance with folded arms and an amused smile. She had worked beside him for 6 years and had become the only person capable of challenging him without intimidation. "You skipped dinner. Again," she said. "I had a lecture." "You've had lectures every night this week." Henry smiled apologetically. Emily sighed. "One day you'll discover there's a world outside this building. Maybe after I finish." "You've been saying that for 6 years." She walked away, shaking her head. Henry watched her disappear down the corridor before unlocking the laboratory door. Inside, machines hummed softly beneath sterile white lights. Brain scans covered one wall. Shelves overflowed with research journals spanning decades. In the center of the room stood a reinforced glass chamber containing a single sealed case. His life's work. Henry approached it slowly. The biometric lock recognized him with a quiet beep. The case remained closed. He rested his hand against the cold glass. Every paper, every experiment, every sleepless night, every memory of his father, all of it had led here. He whispered the words he had repeated to himself for years. If I can separate the darkness, his reflection stared back from the glass. Perhaps I can destroy it. Behind him, unnoticed, one of the laboratory's security monitors flickered for the briefest moment. For less than a second, another man appeared at the far end of an empty corridor, tall, perfectly still, watching. The image vanished before Henry ever turned around.